aka am&m. Welcome to am&m. I said am&m. What? You didn't hear me? I said am&m, mother. Anyway, I'm just happy to be here because it's been a while. I'm happy to see you guys. Wait, are you guys happy to see me? Either way, I'm just happy for us to connect because it's been a minute. I ran across the album by Vic Mensa called the Autobiography. It's like, you know what? Let me check this out. It's new, and I heard Joe Budden likes him. If Joe Budden likes him, he must be a cool guy, right? Because that guy don't fucking like anybody. He just seems like a big-ass hater. Nah, I like Joe Budden. He's a cool guy. Anyway, so a majority of this CD has a lot of strong storytelling. The first half of the CD tells more of like a harder hit stories, you know what I'm saying? So you have the first few tracks on the first half of the CD. One starting off with Memories on 47th Street, where he talks about everyday life and the surroundings that he had to deal with as far as growing up until he becomes about 15, finds his talents, and he's basically saying that what he has to do is stick with the talent and not worry about the surrounding area. You have to fight for what you believe in. You got to fight for your dream, because if not, guess what? You'll get swallowed up with everybody else in the city life of that type of place. Moving on to the next song, Heaven on Earth. This gives you the viewpoint of Vic Mensa himself, his brother Cam that's in heaven, and I that had shot Cam, and it gives you the viewpoints of all of them at the same time. No, not at the fucking same. What am I talking about? It gives you the viewpoint, Vic, his brother, and the guy that shot him first. And so it's very well done, very well told. It kind of reminds me of like back in the day how Jay-Z would just tell a story from different perspectives. A lot of different people do it. Jada does it, word up to Jada. Anyway, but I think it was well done because it shows, you know, nobody intends for a lot of bad shit to happen, but sometimes it does, and unfortunately there's a life lost at the end of this and nobody wins at the end. So that song is very good as well. Like I said, the first half, very strong storytelling. So now to get to the songs that I really want to highlight, because I felt like the first half of the CD basically is like not completely different, but it definitely takes a shift to a more vibey, calm, you know, feel. But the lyrics are still there. The lyrics are still hard hitting. The lyrics are still conscious. And so it's a really good mix. And there were some songs on there where I'm like, hold up. I don't think this is going to be any good. But I'm like, I don't even know this rapper. How do I know if it's going to be any good or not? And I was thinking like he has some singing songs on there. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be the next pop single, but it's like, it's legit fucking good. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into the second half of his album. Can I get a hootie-hoo? The first song I want to highlight on the second half of the CD is Coffee and Cigarettes. So, have you ever spent moments with that special someone that were so amazing to where you wake up the next day or the next morning and think, damn, was that a dream? Then somewhere down the line of that short but beautiful connection you had with that person, you realize that you were nothing more but a perfect distraction for that person that you felt that connection with. This song right here is all about love, reminiscing, and ultimately heartbreak. There are very few things that hurt as much as heartbreak. Is falling in love with somebody that is not in love with you because they're busy embracing life, and that's okay. But I'll end it out with these lyrics. You were only 17, falling in love with everything except for me. Kinda emo? I like it. I fucking like it. It's a very chill, relaxing, not relaxing, but you will definitely think about a past love, or even a recent one, because we've all been through it. And if you haven't been through it, then you will go through it. And trust me, when you do, it's okay, because you haven't lived until you had your heart broken. Thanks, Pops. I remember that one because that shit was so true. I was like, man, Pops is always right, man. Anyway, next track I'm gonna go ahead and get into is Wings. Wings, when I first heard this track, I'm not gonna lie, it gave me goosebumps. I love listening to a beat that takes you on an adventure and is unpredictable. And this beat definitely is very unpredictable. The way the Vic Mensa comes off on the beat is very calmly, because the beat starts calmly, and then slowly as the beat hits the, you know, the drum part and speeds up a little bit, so does Vic's, you know, flow. And it just sounds good. It sounds really good. And this is one of those songs, man, you can definitely ride to and feel. And like I said, that beat is just low key nasty. Like, I love it. Like the way that you can have it sound like that and then switch it. It's nothing like too crazy, but it's simple, it's chill, and it just fits perfectly, and kind of reminds me of like some kind of video game beat, to be honest. Next song I want to go to is the Heaven on Earth Reprise. Now, this song I believe has The Dream on it. I'm not sure, but if you know who The Dream is, as soon as you hear his voice, you know it's about to be a memorable banger. I don't know where The Dream has been. Has he released anything lately? Because I've been hearing him from different people's CD here and there, like out of nowhere. And so this song is short, it's 2 minutes, and you're guaranteed to replay it like at least 5 times. I guarantee it. It's just, it gives you that feeling like, oh my gosh. I don't really want to get too deep into it. It's just like enough said. You got a cool beat, you got the dream over it, 2-minute song. You appreciate every single second of the song. It's one of those. So moving on. Next song I want to go and highlight is We Could Be Free. All jokes aside, this is one of those songs where you don't talk over, and if you're in a place where you can't really focus on the song, then I would recommend not really playing it right then and there, because this is one of those songs that I feel like should be getting your full attention, because it's deep, it's conscious, and it's just very well done. I feel like this song is carried by the lyrics because the beat is good, but it's a very simple beat, and you really get to see Vic's lyrics shine through on this one in particular, and you can feel his sincerity. You get like a big sense of sincerity on this, just like his other tracks, but I feel like in this track it's heightened because, like I said, the beat is something that's just kind of in the background. It's the words that really grab your attention. And I'll go ahead and say some of the lyrics. This is from the chorus. We could be free if we only knew we were slaves to each other. And one thing I've learned is to look at my inner self as my brother. And that doesn't really give the song any real justice, but you get an idea of it. And I don't even want to get into the other parts of it too deep. And the thing I like about this track is that you get a deep sense of self-awareness and overall awareness of society's systematic corruption of the current time. So with that being said, really dope track. Really give your ears a listen. Give it 100% and appreciate the singing. You can feel it in his singing. That's how I feel. He starts cracking at the end. It's not bad, but you just feel it. So with that being said, this is the last fucking word on this album. No, seriously. So with that being said, this is the last word on this album. The last word is that even though I feel like this album does a shift halfway through, it does a good job of having a good range of songs. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, it has a club banger, but who cares about club bangers right now, because winter's coming, and honestly, you should be fucking chilling watching Game of Thrones anyway inside your goddamn house. Other than that, I feel like there would be something in there for most people, even if you're really not a big hip-hop fan of current artists of today, because I know that there's a big divide between, you know, some of the older hip-hop fans and the younger hip-hop fans, and then there's these people that don't really like hip-hop, but they like the weird shit that shouldn't even be considered hip-hop. I don't even know. You know, it's all confused, but I feel like there's everything, a little bit of everything in here for someone, because it's not the typical hip-hop album. The singing's not typical. The subjects, the way he, you know, just goes in between very conscious things and then things that are very personal to him is just very well done. And also, I just really want to highlight this. Do not sleep on his punchlines. He's not somebody that, you know, he sets it up and you're like, okay, I'm ready for the setup. It just comes when it comes, and it really good. His punchlines are very dope, so do not sleep on him lyrically. That's all I'm saying. And the thing that I really like about him is that, to me, he really doesn't gravitate towards any particular artist that I was thinking of the whole time that I was listening to it, and I feel bad. I kept trying to think of an artist I could compare him to, and I was like, hold up, let me not compare him to anybody. He is who he is, and that is awesome. And maybe that's why he comes off so sincere and so genuine, because there are some moments in there that are very, I would think, very personal, and then he just, you know, moves on. But he doesn't even use like a rhyme scheme that most people use, and I think that is just awesome. I think that in this day and age, it's normal for artists to borrow bits and pieces from each other, and I'm sure he might have borrowed something. I don't know. I didn't recognize anything on the surface, and I think that's cool. I think that's kind of rare for that to happen. So overall, he is clearly a very self-aware individual, and I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. And I definitely recommend giving this a listen if you want something good, if you want something genuine, if you want lyrics, if you want even some really good singing parts and some love parts where I'm like, damn, I felt a certain kind of way listening to it, then give this CD a try, honestly. Vic Mensa, the Autobiography of Vic Mensa, very good CD. And with that being said, I didn't write anything else for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do my outro. All I want to say is that this is Kyler Sawyer, the local space surfer. I hope you're having a good day. And remember this, if you don't remember nothing else, to elevate it, motivate it, and never stagnate. I'm out this bitch. Peace.